Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very 14th episode of Off the Record, a show where we discuss the weekly news around Chico State. The date is December 5th, 2013. I said that right. So I'm Jeff Barron, the video editor at the Orion, and joining me tonight is Cammi Carter, the Orion features writer, former Orion features writer.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight?
I am tired. I'm not gonna lie, I'm
Great.
tired.
That is great. That is what I want to hear. Chantal Richards, the sex columnist. How are you doing tonight?
I'm cold, but I'm great. I'm kind of sad, but yes.
And we'll get to that right after we introduce Allison Weeks, the opinions editor. It's opinions editor, not opinion editor.
Opinion editor.
Okay, opinion editor. Okay, how you doing? Hi.
I'm pretty good. I'm tired too and cold, but it's good to be on the show again.
True. And speaking of cold, it's supposed to snow this weekend.
Yeah.
Saturday.
No, not Saturday. It'll be winter wonderland.
I mean, I'm not sure if it's gonna be like all fluffy type of snow or just
But
like
snow is
some
snow.
snow in the morning and then melt. But it'll snow apparently, according to our local weathermen.
According to our local
And we know
weatherman.
how reliable they are.
Don't be mean to the weathermen. I mean meteorologists.
That guy's probably crying. He's like,
meteorologist.
I'm not being. The meteorologist is probably upset right now.
Yeah, how dare you? How dare you?
I don't see any meteors. Anyhow, this morning.
I'm-
Sorry.
I thought you were trying to say
It was actually this afternoon.
This afternoon. Sorry, the time zones, but
I know. This afternoon we got the news that a very, very famous international icon passed away. And I'm from South Africa, if you didn't know, so he's like my idol. Nelson Mandela passed away. It was really sad because that's pretty much my whole life was based on the vision that he saw for South Africa. And now, sadly, he's gone while South Africa is in turmoil with the government. Which I'm kind of happy I'm not there for. But still.
Some hardcore political stuff now.
It's very political.
indeed. What about him made you, like, what makes you so emotionally attached to him personally?
Personally, Nelson Mandela, I was born in 1990 and he was released a month before I was born. And in 1994, I remember watching his inauguration on TV, and I didn't really understand because, I mean, I was 3. But I definitely remember that day because everyone kept saying, oh, this date will forever hold significance, especially with this, which is the sign of freedom and strength. And it affected me because I got to see post-apartheid and grow to be able to accept different cultures, which I think that South Africa is unique in. It was his vision that the blacks and the whites wouldn't be prosecuted by either race, and I feel that I grew up during his vision and then after his vision even. So it definitely was very, very significant as to how I grew up. Yes.
That was a very good speech.
That was good.
Thanks.
That was good. I felt a little inspired.
I felt like I should be.
Maybe I should
don't
be
know.
South African. Maybe I can.
I wasn't feeling that.
Well,
but
Well,
We became known as the Rainbow Nation under him, which pretty much is, I don't know if anyone has seen the world with all the children around it, and
Yes.
they're all different races. That's the symbol for the Rainbow Nation. And I feel that I am one of them because that is my generation that grew up with Nelson Mandela being president and then him stepping down and then seeing the country go to where it has become. And yes, there's a lot of like problems in South Africa, but I feel that Nelson Mandela's vision of all of us living in harmony and being on an equal standing has definitely resonated with my generation, especially because we didn't necessarily grow up in apartheid. We are the aftermath of apartheid, if that makes sense.
okay.
Yeah.
pretty cool.
All right.
That's interesting.
Is there anything else you want to add before we move on, or
Rest in peace.
rest in
That's
peace?
all.
Changing gears to something completely that's just like different different types of orgasms, or the sounds, I believe. This was a column you wrote 2 weeks ago before we went to break, and I was originally going to have her on the show to demonstrate. However, she had something come up and was not able to make it. But now you're here.
I'm here.
And now we're in an empty house, I think. No, maybe not. So what's your piece about?
That piece was about the sounds that happen when you're in your bedroom intervals. I definitely try to describe all the sounds, but I mean, how do you describe the besides like a baboon grunt?
That's exactly what actually.
And a lot of people have approached me about that and be like, oh my goodness, you got it spot on, because so many men, that's the sound they make.
They make the baboon sound?
They make the baboon sound. Like, I've had a few partners that have made that sound and I'm just like, what are you doing? It's not attractive.
What do you do? How do you handle that situation? Do you just deal with it?
Yeah.
Do you tell them? You're just like, stop
they
it.
just
Stop
orgasmed. They just orgasmed. You can't exactly be like, oh no, don't make a sound because you orgasmed. I think
Stop.
I think if they don't make any sound, like the heavy breathing is the most common. But if they're like dead quiet, it's awkward and creepy.
So is there any sounds that are fine? Can they not just orgasm anyway that they...
I think sounds are fine. It's just, to me, the baboon grunt is like, what?
Why
I mean, women are vocal. Let's be real.
Not
all, but most of them.
Most.
Like, I don't know, I don't know how, you're a guy.
Yeah, I am
Whoa.
one. Oh.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
Discovery.
Sitting next to me the
I
whole
want to
time.
know. I want to know your opinion
Okay.
on hearing women make sounds.
Okay.
Like whether you're a spectator or in like the room with them. How do you feel?
A spectator. Okay.
I don't know how to put that. You know, like when a couple is in a different room than
Yeah.
you, but you can hear them.
Okay. Yes, I have been put in that situation.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, like, in terms of like, do I like it? Do I like the sounds, or do I like
Awkward.
just awkward?
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, I mean, like, yeah, it sucks because like, I don't know, like, I mean, you got it. Everybody does it, almost everybody,
Yeah.
and I guess like it kind of sucks because I'm like, well, now I have to hear it, I have to like turn up my music or like have to pretend like it's not happening, like it's some sort of crazy nightmare, but it's like not the worst kind of nightmare to have. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It just makes me like, yeah, it makes me just basically go to that moment. I'm just like, oh god, this is happening, and I have to like, yeah, I have to pretend like I'm doing something, and not listening to them because that would be strange.
See, I think
for me.
that's the reaction with most people.
I mean, how
That's
else?
pretty much what the column was about, like the different sounds that people make in the bedroom and how sometimes like you hear the bed knocking against your wall and it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Or you hear the squeaking of the bed upstairs and you're just like, oh no, not again.
I heard like people who like sound like Satan, like they got like the stereotypical like deep voice, like like it sounds like
Demonic
they're like demonic in hell. And I'm just like they're.
Or you get the passionate screamers.
Yeah, and I'm just
They're
like, like, is it that good?
Well,
Is
they
it
don't
that
actually
good?
say it like, they don't do it like that. They're like, yeah, that one. And they
Yeah.
go higher pitch.
Yeah, they're just
Oh,
like, well,
no.
they're gonna break glass at some
What do
point.
you think?
I don't know.
No idea.
I don't really have an opinion.
Hmm. All right.
Cammi,
All right. What?
do you have an opinion?
I mean, I'm a really horrible person, so anytime I heard, mostly if it was like a friend or something, there I hear it. I have knocked on a door and said, "Hey, can you quiet down?"
Really? You'll be actually aggressive to like go and stop them and break up?
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh.
You know,
I do have one comment.
In the dorms, like
Okay,
in the dorms,
like,
it's just
you
like
don't
I don't. If I'm studying and I hear you, I would go knock on the door. I'm sorry, I'm trying to study, and you're it's not fun. Well, actually, a funny thing is, for some reason, the people downstairs from my room thought my roommate was just having a whole bunch of sex in our room, and I'm always basically sleeping in our room my freshman year. Like, I was always asleep, and she was rarely there. So I guess one time she like came and knocked on our door, and it was just like, "Can you stop?" And we're like, "We're not doing anything. Like, our beds are just unnaturally squeaky, so when we're sleeping, we're just rolling around in our bed, the bed squeaks, and she just thinks we're having sex all the time."
Man, how long
So it
should
could
hold
just
down?
be-
I live in a small apartment complex, and the people above me like are always like doing
Going at
it. Yeah, and like I always hear the bed squeak, and I really want to hunt down the person who lives above me, because it's just so
Just be like,
awful, especially
Spoil
when you're
that
trying
thing.
to study. It's like
It's
Really?
awkward. It's awkward when you hear them going at it upstairs, and you know, compared to like when the girl's on top. The girl on top takes more time, where the guy's like boom, 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 boom. Yeah. And yes, I just did that.
She made those clapping sounds. You know what that means. Moving right along. I am going to move straight to the one you guys are all passionate about, because you guys are women. Media's portrayal of women is destructive. Equal rights, hardly late of the free. Guess again. Valerie Teagarden wrote this article, and I'm sure both of you, I know you're really like, you're all about.
I'm
you were
very passionate about media's portrayal about women.
That's true. What about it? What particularly bugs you?
One of the things that really particularly bugs me is the need to show women half dressed, even though there's not a particular like reason. There's like one thing I can say is in like the new Star Trek.
Okay.
One of the girls, she's undressing in she takes him to a car to talk to him, and she starts undressing in the car, and he looks over at her, and that's it. That's literally it. There's no like kissing or nothing. We just see her in her underwear and bra. There was no point to it. There was no reason for
Okay.
her to get undressed. And that's one of the things that really bugs me in media, is the fact that you need to show women in scantily dressed clothes, and then you give and then there's just so many different
there's
types
a
of
lot
movies.
of things.
There's
though.
cultural ways you can talk about women in movies. It's just I don't know, what is the I actually didn't read this. If I would have known this was in there, I probably would have read it, but I didn't read it.
It's somewhat like that. It's mostly about like how like companies also like are taking advantage of like saying that like girls have flaws, and like their products fill those
like
flaws.
acne and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
And the fact that most models in general, like in the magazines and stuff, they're photoshopped.
yeah, they are photoshopped.
I'm sorry. I think it's 393 West Sacramento. Don't just. I'm
432.
Get that out of
432.
Yeah, we'll have to get that.
432.
432.
393 is ours. Not West Sacramento. Anyways.
Another thing I don't like about media portraying women is like, for us, they promote, being scarily skinny to the point where like they want you to be anorexic or bulimic and stuff. And with guys, it's not really like that. I don't feel like.
I don't want to say that it's not like that for guys either, because you have the problem I think a lot with media is that you have like you have set characters, and for a lot of women you have to be skinny, you have to be skinny, you have to look pretty, you have to do a lot of things. And then when you have women that come in that aren't skinny, they tend to be put in comedic roles, and that bothers me because I have a friend who's a fantastic actress, and not to say that she's not skinny, but she's not pretty to Hollywood means or anything like that. She was always put in comedic roles, and she is a fantastic actress. And I think that's one of the things where it's just like you have a way that you think someone's supposed to look, and you don't actually take in their acting ability. Like
the actress
Kristen
who plays
Stewart.
Fat Amy or something.
she's hilarious, but she's a
hilarious.
good actress too.
Yeah, but they always put her in comedic roles.
Like in also that woman in Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but like if
But
you
they
watch
never put her in
Bridesmaids,
serious stuff,
if you watch her in Bridesmaids, there's like a scene where she's actually really serious. She's kind of breaking down, crying, and it's just like she's a good actress, but you always put her in these roles because of the way she looks.
Yeah, it's funny because you've seen the other movies that she's going to be in, and it's like the same type of character, and I'm like, really?
And it happens with men
Yeah.
too. Like, what's his name? He's in 21 Jump Street with Channing Tatum. I don't know why I forgot his name.
Oh, Jonah Hill.
Jonah
He's
Hill.
in the same one.
He lost so much weight, right? He lost a
He
lot of
did.
weight, got skinny, and they still put him in the same roles that want him to gain weight, basically. You know, be that sidekick that...
Be the same kind of character.
Yeah.
Even though he...
So awful.
You know, they just stick people in the same roles because that's like... And it sucks if you
That's
start
how
out
they
with a
think
big
that they are.
movie because then you're stuck with that, like, character trope. Like, everyone's just always going to put you in there. If you're an Asian woman that knows how to fight, like Lucy Liu, I love Lucy Liu, great actress, but she's always put in a lot of roles where she has to fight.
I never see her in
do you think about
movies
it?
anymore.
She's in Elementary, which is a really good show, but once
Oh, that's
again,
right.
she fights.
Yeah, it's funny because
the Sherlock Holmes
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
It's funny because I don't know. Like, I don't really. I mean, men. I'm sure they have their own media portrayal. Like, but it's more like career focused. Like, you have to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not successful, I'm not really a man. I guess more likely. I don't know.
I could see that with guys though.
It's a huge, like, just media thing in general for men and women. Like, I mean, being a woman, I mostly think about it in the woman perspective, especially since it's so difficult for us to, like, get in the business for certain things.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely think about it for men, too, because I feel so bad for, you know, like, even ethnic men that have, like, a major part in a TV show, but they're still not as big as the ones that aren't ethnic, you know? It's not even just being genderized, it's race, it's all these different things that Hollywood has kind of, like, warped and changed in people's minds. So,
Well.
I'm very passionate
Yeah,
about
that
this
is-
type of stuff.
Maybe sweat a little bit. Is there anything else I want to add before we move on?
No,
All
can't
right.
think of anything.
There you go, guys. Wow. All right. I don't know how to. I can't segue. There's no segue, easy way to just go like, and now we're gonna talk.
No, there is
about
a segue. We could totally segue. Be like, since we were talking about movies and theater, did you guys know that the pageant is in dire need of help? Booyah.
that.
That's right.
That's wow. Why
Segues.
you should have done that before I totally just choked in
I
my
didn't
burn
realize
and
you were
crashed
gonna
and burned before I did that.
burn.
So you know more about this than I do. They're the only independent movie theater in Chico needs donations to keep it from going dark. I believe they're sponsoring a campaign online. I don't know how much is it going to cost to like keep it going. Oh, minimum raise. They have to raise a minimum of $51,000 by the 31st, which is a substantial amount of money. I can't believe it's that much money actually.
Yeah, but right now they have like 20,000.
Really?
Yeah, that's what Nick was telling me, who's the guy who wrote the article. So they're pretty much on their way because a lot of people are getting involved. Students are getting involved. Local community members are getting involved. So it is becoming a big issue.
I think it's important for people that are still like on the edge about it because they show indie films, and I'm talking about what you're just talking about. Indie films have a lot of movies that kind of, you know, hit social norms right where it hurts. You know, like brings up like things most movies don't want to talk about. So I think it's a good educational thing. Like I love indie movies, and I love pageant like independent movie theaters like that. Like in Sacramento we have Tower Theater, and they show a bunch of the similar indie movies. So I think it's a good just thing to have out there instead of having a bunch of the Hollywood movies that we do love and like to see. Have, you know, a different one. So I would donate. I probably am.
Are you personally donate?
I'm probably personally going to donate.
Really?
Because I don't know. I think it's a really important thing to have, and especially in a small community like this.
True that. Because yeah, you can see big movies anywhere online or
Yeah.
like through like any movie theater because they all have it like they're all.
Or Cinemark or
Yeah,
things like
Cinemark.
those huge movie theaters.
Yes.
So overall, as I'm doing this awesome cut, movie theater.
Independent films and movie theaters are very fantastic for the community. So I say that everyone go out there and at least donate $1 to keep one of these movie theaters rolling. And if you think about it, movie theaters are one of America's most lovable pastimes.
Bam. Link will be in the description to their Indiegogo campaign. You haven't
You
told
can
them
donate online.
Do they have like that crazy thing where like if you donate like $1,000, they'll give you like we'll give you a plaque?
That's Kickstarter.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know if Indiegogo does that.
I haven't actually.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, Kickstarter does things like that. Like if you donate $5, you can get a sticker from the production. Like for
A
the
sticker?
Veronica Mars movie,
Ooh.
which is coming out March 2014. Be there.
or be Mars.
I didn't even know they were making a movie for that. Fun fact.
Fun fact. I think it's Marshy then.
Wasn't that fun?
14.
It's not really that fun.
It's a fun fact. I
It
love
is
that
a fun
TV show.
fact.
A
Once
fun
again,
fact.
I loved mysteries.
Well, a fun fact would be like, oh, did you know that like owls can be also used as a bottle opener or something? You'd be like, oh, if I
Just
have-
grab an owl
just have an
somewhere,
owl like sitting
you know?
around, because I have owls everywhere. This is terrible if you're an animal lover. Don't use
Words
owls.
escape you, don't they?
Don't use owls as bottle openers. They're actually not that good. But that's what a fun
But
fact would
owls are good to send letters. Fun
Harry
fact.
Potter taught me that.
Yeah.
be like.
Harry Potter.
Harry
Potter.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. I love Harry Potter.
Is that a fun fact?
That is a
does
fun
that
fact. I like
I
that.
gotta use pigeons. Pigeons are cheaper.
I need to get an owl.
work? Pigeons poop on everything.
They
They
do.
love everything.
They do.
And they're
It's not
mean. Pigeons are mean.
Pigeons are.
They're like.
They're the rats. Flying rats, dude.
They are flying rats.
You know British people eat them?
Ew.
I mean, I don't know if they like cleanly breed them. I don't know how it works. I mean, maybe they're delicious. Who knows? They eat them.
I mean, pigeons though. You know they're not an. Oh, fun fact. Pigeons are actually not native to America.
There you go. That's a fun fact. There you go.
What
Get
are
it.
they native to?
Europe.
Oh,
damn it.
makes sense.
They
You
came
Europeans, you're watching, bringing us pigeons all the time.
Darn you.
How could you?
Taking up our education.
Speaking of education.
Hmm?
Oh, yeah,
What?
right. Speaking of education.
Mhm.
Here,
Oh,
mid-college crisis.
Okay, this will be our last topic.
This has happened to me.
Has it?
Yes.
How did you switch majors?
I did. Okay. So basically, it was my first semester of my sophomore year. I was taking organic chemistry. And yeah, that's what I said. It was really it was really hard, and like no matter like how many times I went to tutoring and everything, it just like wouldn't come to me. And then like my parents suggested like, oh, maybe you should try changing majors. And then I never really thought of it, and then I realized, you know what, I really love journalism a lot more than I love sciences. So I switched from pre-nursing to journalism like halfway through my sophomore year. And I don't regret it. It was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
I did it. Too. Well, it wasn't mid-crisis. That was really mid-freshman year.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was going, and I was like going for communication studies, and I was like, I'm good at maybe not full on public speaking, but I'm not afraid to get on stage and everything, so I could learn. So I was like, this is fine. I can totally do this. And then, I took a photography class in communication design, and I was like, I really do enjoy photography. I enjoy film. It's actually one of my passions. Why am I going to college for something that I'm not actually going to probably enjoy in the future? I mean, if I'm going to spend all this money, I might as well get a degree in something that I love. So I switched.
Yeah, well, that's basically what Amanda's article is about. Like, you should, major in something you really like. Or no, wait, no, that was Valerie's. That was Valerie's blog that came out today saying that you should major in something you really love instead of something that makes the most money.
Link in the description. That also happened to me. It's funny having all three of us.
I think it
I-
happens to
a lot.
everyone, really. Like,
Yeah.
if you go through, like, our editor-in-chief, Ben Mullen, was originally, I believe it's either a chem or biology major. I don't remember which one. But he did the Orion. He was still that major, and I think he did the Orion, and he really, really enjoyed it. And I think sooner or later he's just like, I'm just going to switch. So I think he's now a journalism English minor.
Journalism and English, yeah.
Journalism major, English minor, editor-in-chief. And he had an awesome internship last summer with Zachary. I mean, I'm not really promoting our editor or anything, but he's really, really cool.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. If you watch this.
He's pretty cool.
He's even cooler if he
Pretty
actually
cool
watches
dad.
Yeah, if he actually watches this, you're even
Yeah,
cooler.
He might,
than-
but he's such a busy
I
man.
think he
Yeah,
does.
He does. He tries.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Um,
But yeah, so and then all the freshmen out there that are like, I'm undeclared, I don't know what to do. Take time. To
yeah, it's
figure out
fine.
what
You
to
don't
do.
have to worry about it. You have like 2 years to worry until
Yeah.
you hit like the actual thing.
True. You have to get your GEs out
But
of the way
okay,
first.
so our school's doing this thing like when you're a sophomore, and it's so stupid, where they call you in to the counselor's office, and they're just like, so we want to know what your major is, like what you're gonna major in and everything. And
That's kind of scary.
so it's like they're kind of basically forcing you to choose a major, and it's so stupid. Like, don't force someone into something they don't like. I met someone over the summer who's now like a theater producer, and she's like, I went through my whole college experience just taking classes, and her counselor just sat down and just figured out, well, you can have a theater major and you can have an English minor, and she's just like, well, I'll take it, because she just enjoyed it. I mean, you can't do that here, but if we could, that would be awesome. But yeah.
Yeah. I was originally a graphic design major, and then I switched because I realized that most people kind of don't care if you have a graphic design major. I mean, if they see your work and they like it, they're gonna hire you generally. So you have your work speak for itself rather than having a degree for that kind of thing, I feel. And so I switched to computer information systems, and then I realized that programming is not a huge thing that I like to do. I like it, but I don't like it. That makes sense. Like, I can appreciate a lot of things about it. However, it's not something that I want. Like, overarching, I don't generally spend a lot of time. I wouldn't spend lots of free time spending just doing programming stuff. So I changed to management information systems, which is what I do now, in like database management and system analysis and stuff like that. Sounds boring, which is it could be. Yeah, it could be. You know what? But I think that stuff's interesting. And hey, look what I'm doing now. I'm doing like video stuff. So I have my hands in all the pies, and jack of all trades, master of none is what I like to do generally.
Just do what you want to do. Don't let people tell you. Like, I know a lot of people that come to school and they're doing certain majors and stuff for their parents.
Yeah, in fact.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's crazy.
So don't do that.
I don't know how they can do it.
I couldn't.
That sounds crazy.
I couldn't.
My family's just like, choose what you want to choose. They didn't tell me to do anything specific. They just wanted me to go to college.
Yeah, same with me.
So I went to college. Yay!
Yeah, one of my brothers, I'm like one of like two other brothers, so like, one of us has to graduate and get a degree, and it's gonna be this guy, so there you go.
That's good.
Well, I'm gonna wrap this up. If you guys have anything you want to comment, like, subscribe, follow, everything's at the bottom. All of our Twitter informations are links to the articles that we've talked about on the show.
Have conversations with us.
Have conversations with us. If you tweet at me, chances are I'm going to tweet at you back and say something really
ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe. Depends on how ridiculous I want to be.
I
But
will
yeah.
definitely tweet back. I am totally there on my phone.
Yeah.
I'll tweet back.
Yeah, anytime that someone like sends you, it's like unignorable. It's like, this person is talking to you.
Yeah, it just like pops up on my screen. It's like, oh, you've been tweeted, and I'd be like, oh, okay.
Makes me feel good.
It does make me feel. Make us feel good.
Make us feel great. Make me feel like a man. So that's all. Hopefully, we get some snow this weekend.
I really want it.
And we'll see you guys. We could do all like the
Do you want to go up close again? Because I was watching our last video.
You cringed, didn't you?
I did.
She cringed so hard. Come on. Okay. We'll do the. We'll just do the standard thing.
Okay.
Okay. And we'll see you guys
Next time.
I'd love that. For more information on our stories, you can go to theorion.com.